All right, it's episode 51 of the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. I am Robert Lentini. I am in no chipper mood right now. I am not happy. I'm not a happy camper. This episode of AEW Dynamite, it's the go-home show. That's an antiquated term, but what it means is it's the final show before a pay-per-view. I don't count Rampage. I don't know if they're doing Collision this weekend. Dynamite's the show. Dynamite's the show that everybody's tuning into. And it's your final episode of Dynamite before the pay-per-view, Tony Khan. You need to book something that is... People aren't tuning in regardless, but you need to book something that goes viral, that people are talking about on social media. Give them a reason to order the pay-per-view. Give them a reason, if they don't order the pay-per-view, to at least tune in next week to see, wow, this is a viral moment. This shit was crazy. This looks amazing. I got to check this out. None of that happened tonight. I think they tried several times, but nothing is connecting. Nothing is working. And that's not hyperbole. That's not me exaggerating. Nothing is working. Nothing. The crowd is dead for everything. It's just everything. It's unbelievable. I don't understand. This is the people buying tickets to the show, right? What? Like, they're supposed to be invested. Why are they so dead? I get that I'm not into the product, but why are the fans in attendance who paid money to go see the show, why are they so dead? I mean, they're seeing the same storylines that I am. I don't get why they're paying to see the show if they're just going to sit there. It's ridiculous. There's no buzz, no energy. It's just lifeless. But we're going to go over this whole fucking show segment by segment and try to figure out what went wrong, how they can fix this. I'm going to do a whole predictions video for Full Gear tomorrow, so maybe more of that tomorrow. But we're just going to go over Dynamite tonight because there's enough to talk about. I got to be sitting there for 4 hours screaming. I got to cut myself off. But damn, just what a lifeless show. But let's start off with the opening segment. It was the all-star tag team match, the Don Callis family versus Will Ospreay, Mark Davis, a bunch of other people. Takeshita's in there, Brian Cage. Who else is on? Mark Davis, Ricochet, and Powerhouse Hobbs. That's right. Powerhouse Hobbs had an injury scare during the match, but he showed up later on. But Don Callis family winds up getting the victory. Takeshita gets the pin. I believe it was Mark Davis who was pinned. We get Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay at Full Gear. That should be a fun match. But this match was fine. It was a 15-minute, all-star 8-man tag team match. But it didn't really accomplish anything new. Didn't really get me excited for any of these matches coming up at Full Gear. And, the show started off before the match with the November Rain hype package again that they aired on Collision. Cool. It's a good song 3 decades ago, or 4 decades ago now. Still a classic song, but I don't think November Rain's gonna sell Full Gear in 2024, but that's just me. And I don't think this match really did anything to get anybody who wasn't already excited to see Ospreay versus Fletcher at Full Gear. I don't think anybody got more excited because of this match. We already knew what that match is going to be. It's going to be excellent. It's just the storytelling and how we get there that hasn't been all that great, but out of everything, Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay storyline has been the best to me leading into Full Gear, which isn't saying much. We get Jon Moxley's backstage promo. He's just saying these ominous things that don't mean anything. We're on the battlefield, and what's your mission? What are you trying to accomplish? What is it? What is Jon Moxley and the Deathriders trying to get done? Just eliminate AEW originals? Okay. Then Claudio Castagnoli speaks in Italian, and then he says, I'm going to end you tonight, or Darby Allin. I'm going to kill you. Whatever he said. He's facing Darby Allin in a singles match. But so I don't understand the missions. I still don't get what they're trying to accomplish here. Is the AEW World Championship in the briefcase? Are they going to reveal that at Full Gear? A new championship? Is it going to be Shane McMahon still? I'm still there's got to be something bigger to the storyline that we're the Death Riders and we attack Brandon Cutler, JD Drake, and whoever else. That doesn't matter. Fucking Chuck Taylor. What is this storyline? What are they trying to accomplish? They're just trying to diminish AEW originals? Great. It's not working. The Hurt Syndicate, MVP Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley show up. MVP announces that Bobby Lashley will be in competition later tonight. He faced two jobbers, Joe Keys and Cheeseburger. I'll just get that out of the way now. He beat down Cheeseburger the whole match and then wound up pinning Joe Keys. Cheeseburger's great. I love Cheeseburger. But after the match, Swerve Strickland shows up. He was hiding under the ring the entire time. He has a huge, massive chain. He hits Bobby Lashley with the chain, then knocks MVP off the ring apron with the chain. Hits the house call, and then a huge double stomp on Lashley. So he's heading into the pay-per-view with momentum. I'm excited about Lashley versus Swerve Strickland at Full Gear. I don't see a scenario where they can hand Bobby Lashley a loss in his first, well, now his second match in AEW because he beat Cheeseburger tonight on Dynamite. But, fun segment. This is a good storyline, too. I will give him that. Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley should be a great match. But again, I don't know why we needed to see Bobby Lashley face Cheeseburger tonight to get to a Swerve Strickland attack. Should have just saved his in-ring debut in AEW for the pay-per-view. But that's just me. Adam Cole cuts a promo tonight. Just saying that, me and Roderick Strong have the same goals. We both want to beat the shit out of MJF. And he's happy for Roderick Strong to have this moment. He's happy that he's got the match. Kyle O'Reilly interrupts. He said, you got to let this go with MJF, this tirade you have against MJF. You're having all your friends fight your battles for you. Someone's going to get hurt. And Cole was like, so what are you saying here, that Roderick Strong can't handle MJF? And then O'Reilly just says, no, MJF is way more of an evil bastard than you can ever be. And that's a good thing. And then walked away. So they're hinting at a potential match between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. Look, NXT Black and Gold was popular a while ago, but let's update our software here. Let's get with the times. Nobody gives a shit about Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. The only way I'd care about it is if they do a tag team with O'Reilly and Cole, because Cole is just a fraction of the star that he used to be, and that would work for me. O'Reilly and Cole as a tag team. Be interesting, but they're trying to make Cole into a future AEW World Champion, I feel like, and that ship has sailed for me. He looks terrible. He just doesn't look like a star anymore. I don't understand what happened. His spray tan is all fucked up. It's like it goes up to his wrists, and then the rest of his hand is pale white. How does nobody notice this shit backstage? How does nobody say, dude, you look ridiculous? Nobody says that to him. Nobody says, hey, let's tone down on that spray tan so you still look like you're a human being. Nobody said that to him backstage? Okay. Kris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida. Good match. Statlander wins. After the match, Mercedes Moné and Camille come down to the ring. Camille's in an arm brace. Moné's just, the cheap heat here. I got an interesting fact for you. The Philadelphia 76ers are having another terrible season. Okay, wow. And then she gets in the ring. She doesn't get in the ring. She demands that Camille gets in the ring with the arm brace. A brawl breaks out. Statlander takes control and stands tall at the end of the segment. So she's going to be facing Moné for the TBS Championship at Full Gear. I have no idea who's going to win this match, but it should be so much bigger than it is. It's Mercedes Moné versus Kris Statlander. How they've botched this storyline that nobody in the arena gives a shit is beyond me. This Mercedes Moné arrived in AEW big business, I think in April, and she doesn't matter, and she holds a title right now. It's just a study of horrific booking with Mercedes Moné to get to this point where nobody gives a shit. She debuted as a babyface. They turned her heel because nobody cared after a while because they didn't know what the hell to do with her. And now she's a heel and nobody cares still. So just where do you go from here? She's already a champion. It's crazy. It's crazy how she's just had no impact in that division, which desperately needed her when they signed her. Just has accomplished nothing. You got Mariah May, AEW Women's Champion, Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. They're promoting their championship celebration at Full Gear. They're having a championship celebration for Mariah May at Full Gear. Tony Storm just, joked or, said that she's retiring. She sucks. She can't accomplish anything. She's obviously returning at Full Gear during this championship celebration. That's obviously the surprise there. But May and Shirakawa just started shaking their boobs again. Harley Cameron and Mira did that on Collision or last week's Dynamite, so they're just continuing that. What a revolution in AEW. It's whatever. It's fine. It's if you like it, who doesn't like boobs? But why are they doing this with the women's division, with the AEW Women's Champion? Why is this the storyline? Why is this their fallback? Maybe that's the only way they can get clicks and people to tune in, I guess. But holy crap. This feels like 1999 WWE, but not in a good way. Not like good attitude era stuff. Just hokey, crappy, lowbrow, lame bullshit. That's what this is. Darby Allin versus Claudio Castagnoli. Darby Allin responded to Claudio's message earlier in a promo that sounded like he was talking next to a windmill backstage. Does AEW not know that you can reduce background noise in editing software, like a hum removal? They've never heard of that? Their production people back there, they film these interviews. They have to have some time before to make sure, hey, there's a ton of background noise here. It sounds like he's standing next to a windmill. Maybe let's edit that a little bit. No, let's just put it on TV like that. I don't get it. Oftentimes, sometimes, like if you pay attention to their backstage segments, particularly with the Elite, who aren't on TV right now, but you can just see boom mics lazily. Like, it's just so frustrating. The production errors and the amount of money that's being spent on this show to have these lapses in production is really lame. It's lazy. It's not caring. It's not giving a shit. Not putting your best foot forward. Not caring about every segment. It's lame. It sucks. And it should improve. It should be improving drastically. It shouldn't still be happening. But we're still having these weird audio production issues. But Castagnoli and Darby Allin had a singles match. Darby got the giant swing into the steel steps. I don't know how he survived that. And then Claudio, on top of the announce table, launched him, gorilla pressed him onto another table that didn't break. And then they went to a break, and when they came back, Allin was able to get back in the ring right before the 10 count, but Castagnoli hit him with a lariat, and that was it. So Darby Allin loses to Claudio Castagnoli. It was fine. It was a fine match, but is Claudio going anywhere? Like what? Whatever. It was a fine match between Castagnoli and Darby Allin. Ultimately meaningless. Private Party. They're backstage with the Costco guys, hyping their fatal four-way tag team match. AJ, Big Justice. I don't know any of these guys' names. I'm so unhip with the TikTok shit. I don't care. But, the Big Justice and AJ, whatever, they said they got a big special announcement, and it's the Rizzler. He'll be at Full Gear. He's that another little kid. He'll be at Full Gear, and he's going to be the one ringing the bell. Big Justice is facing QT Marshall in the Full Gear kickoff show. It's fine for promotion. I get it. Not for me at all. But I'm not going to hate on that because they need all the promotion they can get. So if the Costco guys are going to bring in viewers, whatever, go for it. MJF cut a promo on Roderick Strong from a trailer park. It seemed like on the set of Happy Gilmore 2. I don't know I think that's what he's doing filming now. He pulled up to a trailer park. There was a panhandler next to him. He threw a quarter like 40 yards away from him and said, hey, go get it. There you go. So MJF's just back to being a total asshole. And then he cuts a promo on Roderick Strong. And I didn't know this about Roderick Strong, that both of his parents were like alcoholics or addicts. And his mother shot his father when he was 11. I Googled it. They're both still alive. I had no idea about that crazy fact about Roderick Strong. But MJF brought it up, and he said, at Full Gear, I'm going to beat you so bad that you're going to wish your mother shot you instead of your father, which is a great line. And then Roderick Strong cuts a promo with Tony Schiavone later on the show with the Undisputed Kingdom behind him. Said that MJF made me feel like I was in elementary school again. He's a bully, and I'm going to take him down at Full Gear. And I'm going to prove that, you can earn it. You can break the cycle by earning it. And I'm going to earn it at Full Gear. And MJF's had everything in his life handed to him. He's not the better man. Yada, yada, yada. This is fine. This is a little late to get me invested in the Roderick Strong MJF match. But that was a great little old school MJF vignette tonight. Just disturbingly ridiculous lines said by MJF, crossing every line there is, personal shots. That's when MJF is at his best, and it was a great line. It was a great line. Just gonna make you wish that your mother shot you instead is a great line, but it's still Roderick Strong. So we'll see. It should be a fun technical match, great match at Full Gear, and this was the best promo of this whole storyline because, again, MJF has not been in person for weeks. So this is the best they could do, I guess. But it's still MJF versus Roderick Strong at Full Gear, and it's just a singles match. Daniel Garcia and Matt Menard kidnapped Jack Perry. Apparently, I don't know when this happened because Matt Menard is on commentary tonight. So they show a video of Menard and Garcia kidnapping Jack Perry. I'm assuming this happened over the weekend because Matt Menard's sitting on commentary for the whole show. And they don't really even address the fact that he's seen in the video kidnapping Jack Perry. But so the Daniel Garcia and Matt Menard kidnap Jack Perry. Garcia is facing Perry for the TNT title at Full Gear. Makes it seem like they're going to torture the man. And then Daniel Garcia just hits the scapegoat bus a few times with a pipe and says to Menard, hey, let's get out of here. And they just leave Jack Perry tied up on a chair. So is Jack Perry dead? Because whenever this was filmed, obviously not tonight, they left him in a room alone, tied up. So he's starving to death. I don't understand what they're doing with they just left him tied up. That was it. So I guess he's going to break free in time for Full Gear and maybe catch a meal on the way to the show. Just very ineffective. Didn't do anything for me. Jack Perry as a scapegoat, I even as a CM Punk guy, I wanted Jack Perry to use that somehow to elevate his career. It worked for a half a minute, and now it's just, I think it's lame. So it's just, what his shtick is, I got choked by CM Punk and blamed for shit. That's still his gimmick. That's the whole scapegoat thing, and they haven't moved on from it. Yeah. Just lame. Lame and poorly thought out because Matt Menard's on commentary and he's seen in a video kidnapping Jack Perry. So what happened to Jack Perry? We don't know. I guess he's dead from starvation because he's just been locked in a room for days on end. Nobody helped him. Then we get a Looney Tunes segment tonight on Dynamite with Jericho and Tomohiro Ishii. They have a contract signing for their ROH Championship match next week on Dynamite. The contract signing initially starts out in a cheap table in front of lockers with people's sweatshirts and shit behind them. It looks so cheap with Renee Young and Ishii and Jericho. Jericho doesn't want to sign the contract, so he walks out, gets up with the contract, and starts walking. Ishii starts stalking him from behind like Michael Myers, just walking slowly behind him. Kind of funny, follows him all the way down to the ring. And then eventually, Jericho says, I don't have a pen. Ishii pulls a pen out of his shorts. Wants Jericho to sign it. The Big Bill and the Bounty Hunter attack from behind. The conglomeration show up. They brawl. Eventually, the contract is signed. If maybe this got you more excited for Ishii versus Jericho next week for the ROH Championship, it didn't for me. It was entertaining just the way they shot it with Ishii like a horror movie villain walking behind Jericho, Looney Tunes style. That was funny. But then again, it's Jericho and Ishii for the ROH Championship next week. I mean, you really gotta be a big fan to care about that. To me, it's nothing is clicking. The fans weren't going crazy for this match. The fans weren't going crazy for Kyle O'Reilly talking sense into Adam Cole. The fans weren't going crazy for anything tonight. Jon Moxley's backstage promo, they certainly weren't going crazy for this. And I can't believe that we're doing another ROH Championship match on Dynamite. They're trying to sell that to whatever, some True TV or whatever. Go ahead and get Jericho on that and go to True TV and get the hell off of Dynamite. Please. Jamie Hayter was interviewed again backstage. She was interrupted once again by another Julia Hart vignette. So we're slowly building toward that match, building towards Julia Hart's return. Julia Hart's awesome, so I'm looking forward to that. And Jamie Hayter has been just botched since her return at Allin. Just terrible booking. You botch her return, have her return on the pre-show. She feels like nothing now. And I thought she was going to be like the biggest star in the company. In the women's division, at least. Feels like nothing. I just think Hayter is capable of so much more. We'll see where this rivalry with Julia Hart goes, if anybody will care after these vignettes. But, you know, they're shot well. I like, again, Julia Hart's great, but I just can't get over what they've done to Jamie Hayter so far since her return. And finally, we get to the main event of this week's Dynamite. Wheeler Yuta versus Orange Cassidy. That's the main event of the go-home show for Full Gear. It's Wheeler Yuta versus Orange Cassidy. And it was a technical match that Orange Cassidy squeaked out a win with a roll-up. That's how he heads into the pay-per-view. A squeaker of a victory over Wheeler Yuta with a roll-up ahead of his match against Jon Moxley at Full Gear. Before this, Cassidy cut a serious promo backstage saying he did not want the conglomeration to come down to the ring and help him under any circumstances. So naturally, after the match, Deathriders attack Orange Cassidy, beat him down, tie him up, tape his hands, and then leave. The conglomeration come down to the ring, they untie him, and Orange Cassidy stands up defiantly and puts his hands back in his pockets after putting on his sunglasses, puts his hands in his pockets and stares at Jon Moxley as Moxley's looking on pissed off in the crowd, and that's how this show goes off the air. So we have really just no more understanding of why Jon Moxley's doing all this, what his mission statement is. Hopefully we'll get that at Full Gear after the match. We'll open the briefcase and get something going here. But this build to this pay-per-view, this is your biggest storyline, the Deathriders and Orange Cassidy. I think it's been an abject failure. I think it's been a total unmitigated disaster. Just a total flop, a Full Gear flop. I'm going to be ordering the show as always because I'm going to give them money. I want them to be successful. I want an alternative brand, but this sucks. This show flat out sucks right now, and that is my opinion. And that is that. This review of AEW Dynamite, we'll have a prediction show tomorrow. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.